I think I'll let you tell me, Christian, how long you typically give them to show up.
Not, I usually try to start on time, so you're fine to go ahead and start, and I'm recording, so we can always send out the recording.
Okay, very good. All right, then I will go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone that is on with us right now. Thanks for being here today. I am going to just share for a few minutes because most of you are totally familiar with what I want to share with you. But I am going to restart Ninja Mastery. I can't remember when I was coming to your company if we called it Mastery or group coaching. But anyway, it's now called Ninja Mastery. And I heard this quote this morning, and I'm only sharing it with you guys because wait till you hear the story behind it. One of my favorite speakers said this morning, and he started by saying, if you know me well, you know that I am a devout San Francisco 49er fan. And then he started in, right? And I'm like, okay, come on, get with the program. And then he started talking about the Super Bowl in Kansas City. And of course, I was with you guys in that whole fun thing, right? And he said, what happened? What happened? The 49ers, and I don't even remember this, okay? So I might mess up some of the details. But he said the 49ers were leading. He said, I think he said they were leading by double digits, if I'm not mistaken. And in the last 6 minutes of the game, what happened? We didn't change locations. The weather didn't change drastically. The rules of the game didn't change. The environment didn't change. But what happened was the 49ers lost their focus. And I thought, how appropriate for where we are right now. I don't know about some of you, but I'm going to be super transparent just because I always am. But like, I have lost my focus on occasion in the last 5 months. I've lost my mind a couple of times. I've lost my, emotionally, I've lost it a few times, right? Because everything is so different. And so this quote that he said, there are places that we're losing that we could be winning if we were focused. And I thought, how true. If we had an unbreakable focus in life and in business, how different would our life be right now? Because life changes. We've been through, all of us have been through things in life that stole our focus. And what I want to do is I want to help us get our focus back. And I'm mainly doing this in all honesty, because some of you have asked me to do this before, and I said, no, absolutely not. I'm never doing it again. Man, you'd think I'd learn to stop saying never. But here we are again in a different place, and it's time that we change the way we do mastery so that we can be together again. Would I rather be face-to-face? Absolutely. There's so much more power in being with you, but I can't be. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about what mastery is going to be like. For some of you, it's going to be very redundant, with the exception of the difference in how we're going to do things. But it's going to be a monthly focus, and of course on mindset, skill set, and action, but it's going to be 2 calls a month for 90 minutes. So it's going to be every other month for 90 minutes. We will obviously stay extremely focused on the Ninja 9 and all of our processes and systems that we know we can get results from. We will be practicing live on Zoom. We will be practicing a lot. I'll be putting us in breakout rooms. We'll be practicing, we'll be sharing. We will set up a complete Ninja business plan, probably October, November-ish. But really just digging deeper into the meaning of Ninja and what that means in our business. But I'm going to take this a step further and say, especially in this new normal. You might not like the fact that I'm calling it the new normal, but here's the truth, friends. It is the new normal right now. And we don't even know, and I'm not guessing, and I'm nothing, okay? I'm just saying, what if we can never get together again? What if we can never be live again? What if people aren't willing to get together again because they're afraid? And so what if that happens? This new normal, I don't want to survive it. I want to thrive during it like I've always done. And so I think that's probably you too. I'm going to limit the group size to 20 attendees. So why am I doing this? Couple things about this 20 attendee thing. I'm doing it because as you're on Zoom right now, you may be on the screen where you can see my PowerPoint, and you may be where you can see all your colleagues. I want to be able, I've restructured my entire office at home. I want to be able to see all of you and my PowerPoint at the same time. I want to be able to see your face so that if I saw a look on your face or a tear roll down your face or whatever, I could either say to you, are you okay? Michelle, I saw that look. Do you have a question? Do you disagree? Or if I saw your body language and I felt like I needed to talk to you privately, I could call you after the call and go, are you okay? What's going on? I was on a call the other day, about a week ago today to be accurate, and one of the attendees on the other end of the phone, who I know very, very well, other end of the virtual setting, I know very, very well, she was so disconnected and kind of sitting back with their arms crossed and just super disconnected from the entire thing. So I texted her. I know this is, we're not supposed to do this, but I'm telling the truth, remember. I texted her during the call and I go, are you okay? What's going on? She goes, I'm good. That was her only response. I'm good. Well, of course, I know her well enough to know she's totally not good if that was her response, right? So I called her after the meeting and I was right. She wasn't good. But I want to be able to see you, to feel you, to touch you virtually. And I can't do that if there's 3 screens of 25 people that I have to look through at all times and focus on the chat box and focus on what I'm talking about. So they're going to be very small groups. However, don't worry, because I've invited my companies, and there are 15 of them. So there's going to be way more than 20 people. So I've set this up. Right now, there's going to be 3 choices when you get the email, or if you've already got the email. And they're all Thursday choices because the Fridays are full. And once those fill up, I'll open another class. I didn't want to open 15 classes and have 3 people in every class. So I'm just going to open them as I go. They'll be every other week, 90 minutes. So what are the course requirements? Well, first of all, our initial thought was an agent has to have attended a Ninja installation. Well, I was fine with that until COVID. And now I'm not fine with it because I don't want to leave anybody out. What if somebody just came in the business? There's all these rookies, one that's in your office who I love, who are killing it. And so what if he happens to have been in the last installation, but what if they can't, or they haven't been in an installation? So then the prerequisite now is going to become that you have to have read the book. We want you to just have a little bit of foundation on Ninja so that we're not constantly bringing you up to speed, then teaching, bringing you up to speed. So I do want you to read or listen to the book. Now this prerequisite will only be in effect for 2021. So it'll get us through this first session. We want the agent to complete a mastery questionnaire. What I'm not going to allow, and the good news is I have complete control over this, is I want to know where you are when we start. I want to know where you are 6 months in, and I want to know where you are at the end. And I don't mean so that I can track if you tripled your business, because maybe you don't even want to do that. What I want to be able to do is track your results and see why we think you're doing what you're doing. And then, of course, I'm only offering it to companies that their leadership is involved in Ninja. If their leadership has not been involved in Ninja, or at least some of them, it just won't work. Your company, this is super easy to say to, because your leadership is a Ninja company. They've been in coaching, they've been at installations, but I need the leaders behind me, because here's the truth, friends, and put this bee in your bonnet, because it's the truth. If I notice that you're just flailing and something's wrong and I can't reach you, I'm going to reach out to probably David and probably your manager, whoever that is, because I want them to know, and I want them to be on board with what's going on. If they're not on board, it's me and you virtually, and although that's good, it's not great. I need the backing of the management. So here's what my expectations are. As your ninja guide, I expect, and if you've been in my coaching, you know me, so I don't really need to emphasize this, but I expect you to show up and expect you to do the work. There will be accountability. There will be stuff that you turn into me. There will be stuff you turn into your accountability partner. And I am only doing this. I have nothing else to do. And so I will be checking constantly on where you are, what you're doing, what you said you wanted to do. How's that going? Are you ready for the next one? I don't think you are. It's going to be mandatory that your camera is on. So I had a fun conversation with Larry Kendall. We went back and forth about a lot of this stuff before we started this whole thing. And he goes, well, Terri, here's my problem. They check out, they turn off their cameras, they blah, 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 blah. Well, okay, it's not, I'm not talking to 500 people, I'm talking to 20. And I don't just want your sign up, I want your attention and I want your commitment. So I'm going to ask you to have your camera on. Well, Terri, that's the time that I work out. Put your hat on. Seriously, I don't care what you look like. I just want you to be present. And I want to know that you're present. I want to be able to see that you're present. I want to know that you trust the process and that you will be completely, totally on board with being accountable for the ninja activities. I also like the idea of only 20 because, of course, only 20 leaves lots of space for us to share with each other transparently. And so we're going to respect each other. It's going to be confidential. And we do this even in the installation. But I just want us to be willing to be transparent, respect one another for where we are, and give that respect to each other all the time. I want you to be committed to mastery. I want you to be committed to mastery. Not mastery, the coaching, mastery in your lives. If we're not focused, we're probably not getting the results that we want to get. So what are we going to do? In every session, we will look at the Ninja 9. Of course, we'll work on what it looks like for you to stay on the Ninja path. We'll review everything in the Ninja installation throughout all the sessions, and that will be our focus, just diving way deeper. All right, here's a new piece again. We're going to have a book review every single month. Is it mandatory that you read the book? No, it's not. Preferable, listen to the book, read the book, preferable. Again, I had to do arm wrestle with my colleagues to get this in there. They said, Terri, I feel like if we tell them that they have to read a book that, you know, some people don't like to read and some people are slow readers and blah, and they were coming up with all these excuses why we shouldn't have a book review. Okay, wait a minute, friends. I'm not talking to you. I was talking to them. I thought we called this mastery. So maybe they don't love to read, because when I started in the industry and then in Ninja in 01, I hated to read. And my coach, Walt Fry, he challenged me. He said, I respect that. He goes, would you be willing to read 10 pages a day during your workday? Just 10 pages a day, not a book, just 10 pages a day. And I said, well, that I'll do. I now read all the time. Thank you, Walt Fry. So maybe you'll never read a book, but here's how I feel about that. That's okay, because if 15 of the 20 read some of it or all of it or listened to it and we shared our ideas, you might get a nugget that you needed for your life or your business. So it's not about you reading the book. It's about what reading does for us. It makes us better conversationalists. It increases our vocabulary. So we're going to have a book review. And I think in the 12 months we have 11 books, because we use one of them for 2 entire months. And then lastly, there'll be key learning points, commitments, suggested reading for the next month, and so on. Oh, I know one more thing I wanted to say about the book review. And I'll say this again when I'm talking to the group during Mastery. There's this app called Blinkist, and I haven't subscribed to it, but I did a trial a couple of years ago. And if you just really, really, really don't have time, aren't going to read, I would love if you subscribe to that, simply because almost every book, in fact, I think every book I'm going to recommend is on there, and they do about a 30-minute recap on an entire book. So all the really big tidbits, and I'm almost certain it's called Blinkist, like Blink IST. And it's an app. So that's a really cool thing too. So I already said that we'll focus on the Ninja 9, but we won't focus on the entire Ninja 9 every month. So for example, you know, one month we might focus on our business tracker, which is the hot list and warm list. So I want you to do the other 7, but this month I really want you to be focused on the hot list and warm list. Or this month we're going to focus on the real estate reviews, or whatever, right? But we're always going to have a habit, one of the Ninja 9s, incorporated into each of the sessions. You'll get an email, or you already got the email, that has all of the sessions outlined for you, but this is what they look like, just to give you an overview. Introduction, expectations. There will be a lot of nuggets in the first one to just get us back on track. Another thing I love about this is that we're doing it twice a month for 90 minutes. So you don't have 30 days to get off track. You have only 2 weeks to get off track, and you can get right back on track 2 weeks later. Session 2, habits and tracking, mindset, value, flow. Love, love, love. And I just incorporated these. I didn't even ask for permission. I just did, because if I didn't do one of these calls for you, I did them for other folks. And I want to incorporate the virtual aspect of the buyer process and the seller process. I know that we can get together one-on-one in most of our markets now, but we have to remember that at Ninja, we treat people the way they want to be treated. And there are some people that are still scared to death to come out of their house. They don't want to be face-to-face with us. And so I mastered, and I'm not bragging, I promise, I just practiced and practiced on you guys during the last 6 months, 5 months, 6 months, the virtual buyer and seller process, and they're seamless on Zoom. So I will share with you how I did that, and then I'll share a recording with you of how I did it, and a real life example, so that you can practice it if you want to. Negotiation and objections, tracking your time, hiring an assistant, delegating so you can be more efficient, our business planning, of course, which is the value of money, real estate reviews, our mission and turning the flywheel. I'm not going to go into that much, but it's a great little tiny 35-page read called Turning the Flywheel that's just absolutely amazing. And this kind of all encompasses everything that we'll cover. Now, as I've always done, and I will do again, if something comes up in our market or in our industry that makes things just shift gears, then with your permission, we'll shift gears that month, and we'll just cover what we need to cover in order for you to get where you want to get. What's the investment? The investment is $250 a month, or you can pay $27.50 up front and save 1 month. It's billed automatically, just like it was before, on the 5th of every month. Because many of you were in Mastery or group coaching before, I really want to speak to this. Wow, $250 a month. Terri, that's twice as much as it was before. Yep, that's on purpose. Absolutely, totally on purpose. The accountability is going to be way greater, but let me just tell you the honest to goodness truth. I don't want the people that are willing to spend $125 to come to class, not do what they said they would do, and at the end go, I didn't get anything out of it. I can spend $125 laying in bed on Amazon at night. That's not money anymore. And with all due respect, you know what I mean. It's just, I want the people that want to be focused. I want the people that want to soar in their businesses. Take a look at this real quick.
If you want to know how to change your life, I give it to you in 3 words, boring as it sounds: raise your standards. Everybody in life gets their musts. They don't get their shoulds. Most people have a list of shoulds, don't they? Don't you have a list of things you should do, you should follow through on? I should lose some weight, I should work out more, I should get into the office earlier. People love to have their should lists be met, but it's kind of like New Year's resolutions to kind of know it's not going to happen. But when you decide something is a must for you, when you cut off any possible, you say, I'm going to find the way, or I'm going to make the way. Human beings, when they resolve things, when they make a real resolution inside themselves, which is they raise the standard, they make it a must, they find a way to make things work. Because somewhere when we make this click, when we make something a must, we attach ourselves to it. It becomes part of our identity. Whatever people have their identity attached to, they live. We live who we believe we are. Your physical body today is an absolute reflection of only one thing: not your goals, not your desires, but your standards. If your standard is you're an athlete, then there's a certain amount of strength, a muscle tone, and energy that's available in your body on a regular basis because that's who you are. And so you do whatever's necessary to maintain that identity. The strongest force in the human personality is this need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Once you lock in on that identity, your brain finds a way to keep you there. If you identify yourself in a new way, and you own that every day, and that becomes the standard of how you live, you'll find the way to make that standard real. It all comes down to the inner game, my friends. Changing your life is a change in the inner game. The outside world you can't control, but you have absolute control over this one if you learn the dynamics of what shapes you. Instead of your goal is to lose 10 pounds, which is not compelling, what if your vision was to get back to my fighting weight? You know, this year, this month, this next 90 days, I'm going to transform my body. I'm going to take on a new challenge. I'm going to find some technique or strategy, there's a million of them, that can reframe myself where I'm going to feel younger, stronger, more vibrant than ever before. Here's my reasons: because I want the energy to really make my life work. Because it's tough out there, and I want to be stronger than I've ever been before. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. If your life is perfect and extraordinary, you darn well know you're not going to be happy unless you keep making it better. It's not what we get that makes us happy, it's who we become. The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard, it's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
All right, guys. So that's everything I thought of to tell you about Mastery. I'm available. Christian's available. David's available. Call me. Reach out. We are starting September 10th. It's a Thursday. And you either have received the email or will receive the email. So all you need to do is click and sign up for whichever time frame works best for you. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and stay on the call so that we can talk about any questions that you may have. Otherwise, thanks for being here today. I don't see the chat box, so maybe we don't have
that for you, Terry. I don't see anything in chat.
Okay.
Yet, but if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in chat and we'll get it to Terri.
Sounds awesome, Terri.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you, Terri.
You're welcome. All right, well, you guys know who I am, where I am, so reach out. I'm here waiting for you, and I hope to be able to start serving you again on September 10th. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, Terri.
I just want to say it was